Alright guys, so it is 2021 and it is time to start the raised bed gardens. So in 2020, actually before COVID, the plan was we were going to turn our patio here, our front porch, into a raised garden bed area. Raised bed garden. Yeah. And so we actually started in spring break building the extra beds, because the year before we did like a test bed for salads. It worked so great that we decided to make even more beds and keep that going, to have fresh greens and different vegetables on our porch, utilizing the unused space that we had anyway, to be able to just quickly come in from the house, gather what we need, and go back out. Have a place where the kids could just come out and gather what they wanted, anything that would be safe for them to come out and snack on and all that good jazz. So worked out great, and we used it all through 2020. It's been pretty dormant. They've just been sitting here over the winter, so the hungry gap, as they say in other countries, and not able to use what was on the porch for food, because the whole point was that to be like the annual salads, all that good stuff. And in the future, we may be able to stretch it on into, January and February with different materials and stuff like that. So that's a future possibility. Alright, so from what you can see behind me, we have a few things going. We've actually added one more bed to the porch. We've switched some stuff around from learning last year, so let's go on our tour. So the main project that you can see is the front porch. We had to replace it, and last year I had all my herbs lined up along here, and so they've had to be moved onto the concrete for right now until we finish the porch project. This is a major project. Last time I posted on the Facebook group, all you could see were just the unders, like the understructure, the rafters. So we actually added a place to get in and out of the house now. It's just a major big project, and so it's just taking time. It really works well when we have like 2 or 3 people out here working at a time and stuff, but that is coming, and it's going to have more spaces in it and cool like rainwater system coming in. So we do have a new puppy and our dogs, and so we've been having to put him out here and get him trained. So if you see random toys and stuff everywhere, the kids have been out here, and the puppy. So had to move some herbs right here, and then here I have carrots germinating. So I'm going to post that in the Facebook group and on Instagram. If you want to see more details about that, go check that out, and how I am germinating those. And so I just did that 2 days ago, so they are not ready. So I'm not even going to pop them up because I know they're not ready. More herbs. That was my mosquito plant. I'm just hoping and taking a chance that it might come back. I don't think it will. So, but it might. Who knows? And then here we have more of the dinosaur plants. So these are the ones that came up voluntarily last year. From seeds that we just kind of threw out, and these are the crazy guys that have spikes all over their spines. And actually these don't, I don't know if, yes they do. Okay, so it's a fruit. It is from South America, down in the middle of South America, and so very spiky. Do not want to get a hold of those. The fruit, we had a major fruiting one year. Last year we didn't. The plants didn't show up till later, and so I dug them up. I've kept them over winter, and then we are going to transplant them and see if we can't get another fruiting to make juices and to maybe freeze, and all of that. So fish is still alive. We lost one goldfish, and he's just out here. He eats the mosquito larvae and the frogs, and then we have lilies in there. Oh, clematis. My clematis came back. Ferns are good. We overwintered them. I haven't brought my cushions out yet because it's supposed to rain, and I don't have things up there yet because it's still too cold, so they're not going to make it. Lots of stuff came back. A lot of the stuff I took inside, took this inside. Let's see, these over here are all going to be put into the chicken pen. So where our orchard is, and we have the huge chicken pen where we're creating a permaculture style composting orchard area. These are going to go along the fencing to help catch water, so that's going to be in a different video, and to add just some pretties. So these are all transplants from other places where they've just grown and dug those up here. And this is Comfrey, so that way if it does grow into the cage, it's The chickens are going to love that. I have a few gladiolas because I thought with the stems I could easily tie them up in the chicken cage. Don't have anything in the middle bed. We moved a lot of beds around and they're so heavy, so what would happen is we would empty a bed, put it in the other beds, get it empty, move it, and then empty the next bed into that bed. And so this just kept going as we move things around. So we have some that are still empty, as you can see, and we have to fill them back up. Bee balm came back. It looks like this basil. Okay, no, what is that? Nope, that's another mosquito plant. So I was wrong on that. Looks like my basil's coming back. My chives have come back. All that good jazz. Another fern. I cannot remember the name of that plant right now. And so all my little pretties are kind of on the ground with my herbs and stuff, just because I like to see them. Over here is my planting station. So right now what I have in are purple kohlrabi, kale, purple Brussels sprouts, and then I have purple artichokes, then we have green Brussels sprouts, we have got white kohlrabi, and then we have green artichokes. And so in my zone, which is 7B, I can kind of get away with a lot of stuff. Some of y'all would have already planted this stuff and seeded this stuff. It's been raining, it's been snowing, and I'm just not getting around to it, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to put a link or a description below on everything that I planted for this month, just in the past 2 weeks, because I know I've had lots of questions about that, like what do I plant right now, what's the best thing. And so I'm going to have like an easy, a medium, and a hard suggestion. So if you're just getting started, you definitely want to stick on the easy, possibly experiment with some medium, you know. Hey, I'm up for experimenting and trying anything. Y'all know if you started following me last year, I definitely love to try new cool stuff, so check that out. It'll be fun. So here I have a bird gourd planted already, or seeded. It's going to go up there. There's another bird gourd that was successful last year. Remember, I tried loofahs on this trellis to go up. Did not work. I did lima beans, and they only got about up there, and then they stopped. So between the loofah gourds and the lima beans, it just wasn't working. So we're going to try to do the bird gourds this time. And then in here, it's not really onions. It's where I stopped it to remind, this is all spinach, and then these are sweet peas, and I expect them to come up any day now, so they should be ready. More carrots. So like I said, get on the Facebook group or Instagram, and I'll post those in the link below, or give links in the description below. So those are there. And then right here is our first bed of salads. So we have the German giant radish coming up. We have salad bowl coming up. We have little gems that have started to show up. And then Simpson is starting to show up now. So that's there. Sorry about the light. The sun is finally coming up over the tree pretty good. And cress. And this is also something that I covered on Instagram in the Facebook group. But cress is actually the seed that I saved last year. I did not buy this. This is all 100% my seed that I saved. So pretty excited about that. And then I put up there's a bat in there. I put the tomato pots back out with the trellises because they also have sweet peas in them. The kids love those. We like to take them right off of the vine. They can come out here and snack. This one has nothing in it yet. It's going to be the next succession. And then over here, this is our kale that actually lasted over the snow, y'all. It made it, and look, it's its second year, so it's got these like little florets in it. Look at that. You can actually eat these like broccoli, and that's the reason I left them, to see what would happen. So since this dinosaur kale was very successful up here, that is what that tray back there is for. And all of those are not going to go up here, but I want them to get bigger and have a lot more, so they're going to go down in the bottom garden. So that's what we're doing there. But isn't that cool? And so if I had a ton of these and I let them over winter, then I would have nice little florets to eat after that, and the kale. So there's new growth on the kale, and we can eat that and cook that up, and I may actually saute that later. So that's what's going on the porch. I guess we could update on the quail, but this is really just a porch tour, so I may do a homesteading tour, like the whole homestead later after we get some things finished, and do that. Well, thanks for joining me on this short little tour. I know it's not just a ton of stuff right now, but it's coming. And we'll do a whole homestead tour once we get some of these other projects completed. It does take a lot of work and time, and we do work full-time jobs. So between that and getting this done, just be patient with us. We have some cool new stuff going and some things that are finally coming into fruition that have taken a while. So that way you can see some results. You can see what we did that didn't quite work, and how we're improving those and what will work. So hopefully it'll help you as you design your own permaculture style garden or small homestead. And remember, everything that we do can be done in a very small space. So I have people in the Facebook group that are, that message back and forth and comment, and a lot of them are inside the city. So they have neighbors side by side, and they may have a really small porch or a really small yard, and they are getting out there and they're using some of the techniques that we are doing. So it has a possibility, even if you have a huge place or a really small space. You just pick what's good for you. There's several things coming up. I have a whole series on reduce, reuse, and recycle. So during COVID, I saw a lot of waste that really disturbed me and really bothered me and my husband, of how much stuff was just being thrown away, out of being legit probably scared at first. But I've had a lot of questions like, how do I recycle? What do you do about this and that? And so I'm creating a whole series. We're going to do some videos on YouTube, as well as have like printable handouts that you can easily look at or take with you, put in a bag. And so just kind of share the different things that I do and I've learned over the years. So if you want to be part of that, get on the newsletter that's on the website. So the link is on that, or up in the description of the YouTube channel. You can click it, get on the newsletter. It's coming out. So not only am I going to be blogging about it, but I will also be sharing the video part of it here on YouTube. So that's where you want to get that. All right, I'll see you next time.